Welcome back to Granite Farms. I'm here to tell you and show you why it's Granite Farms. If you are interested in a hearth fireplace and wanting to know if you can cut the granite yourself, I'm here to tell you you can, because we did and we knew nothing about it before we tried it. It is so cold, 50 inside. If you need to add extra warmth to your home, especially during power outages, let's think about doing that before the power outage. We did not. We said we would wait until December and then we will install our wood burning stove. Well, it is time. Here we go. Here's a look at why it's called Granite Farms. The house is granite on the outside, and the developer who left it behind left us some remnants. So we have all these little remnants. I'm gonna see if I can go down and show you here. There were different colors and different shapes. So for the hearth, we went with what we had the most of, which was a white-black combo. I really don't know the name, but they're all granite, and they were all the same thickness, and they were actually thick enough where we didn't need to build a bed underneath. Your fireplace will come with instructions and will tell you exactly dimensions for 17 inches from the wall, 17 inches from here or there. Just look in the book. I'll see if I can take a picture of our book and show you as well. However, it only needed to be like an inch and a half up off the ground, and this is pretty thick. Let's see if you can see it. It's pretty thick granite. So there's a little bit more here. Let's take a walk and I'll show you. Just don't look at all the other stuff left behind. We need to call the junk company really bad. Have them junk it out. Okay. It is winter and it is cold here at Granite Farms. 30s maybe at night, and our heat went out because some electric issues. So we had to get the fireplace up pretty fast, but the hearth luckily was done and ready by October. Anyway, so we have some pieces just laying around on the ground like it's a rock. And then we have some pieces by this tree, which I'm still kind of considering what to do with. I don't want to get rid of them just yet because, I don't know, it could make a fun table or entry table or something. We used a piece that we had that was 5 foot long for a countertop, which was nice, and we paid for that countertop for someone to come out and cut it, and it was pretty expensive for them to do it. It's a 5 foot piece, and I think they charged 10 or 20 a square foot just to didn't even really need cut, just to sand it down and buff it out. And so I watched what they did. I asked them about the products, and I just ordered the same, about $15 for that package of buffers. I don't know what you call them, well, sanders, but they're not really sand. They're like a cloth, and their grit is like 3,000. Anyways, so here's a little bit of a bigger piece that's here. And Granite Farms. You can see my shadow. So this, plus the whole house is, there it is, granite. Now, keep watching and we'll show you what we did with this hearth fireplace. I realized that for $50 I could buy the supplies and do my own. So what we used was this diamond saw blade, and it's about $30 to $200 depending on what you want to pay for. I think we paid $35 at Home Depot or Lowe's, and that cut the granite down to the size that we needed to make the angles. It did chip off a little bit on the edges, but that's okay because we were able to buff out the chips pretty well, and we're going to put a fireplace on top of it anyway. So we had to do ours in just the width that it was, so we couldn't do a full piece. We're doing it almost like you would lay tile, So think of granite kind of like tile. Think of it as a stone. Think of it as cinder block or concrete, but it's none of those things. On the package, you want to make sure it says granite for cutting. And then there's these really fun buffers you can buy, or grit sandpaper. It's not even sandpaper, look. And you buy the attachment for it. You can get it all as a set. We bought ours on Amazon. And so for $50, we were able to lay our own hearth, and that's because we had remnants. You can also buy remnants from the store for half price of what you pay Granite, and you don't have to pay someone to install it. So it's a really lovely looking hearth. We want to build up around it still and do, what's that called? Mantelpiece or something maybe, but really all we needed was the hearth. Now what I wish I would have done different is, oh, gunshots, welcome to the country. Yeah, what I wish I would have done different was maybe make it bigger and make it go wall to wall and not just do under the fireplace. We did the least amount required, and part of that was because we wanted all the pieces to match and we didn't have enough of the same color. Maybe I would have done something more like this and black and white or whatever. So if you're looking for remnants, you can do a pattern with your colors, and that could be pretty too. But anyways, I wish I would have made it a little bigger, go to the wall. It is within, spec, whatever. It's on point. We measured it right. However, it would be nice to be able to have somewhere to put your wood that wasn't on the floor, Okay, so that's next. Plenty of wood around here, as you can see. We have had no shortage of wood this winter. Okay, does a wood burning stove really heat your home? Are you going to be warm enough? Oh, for us, yesterday it was 50 degrees when I woke up inside without the fireplace going. My husband started the fire, and by the time I got home from work, 6.5, 7 hours later, I work half days, it was 13 degrees warmer, so it was 63 when we went to bed, and that's nice. When we woke up, it was 58 again. So the fire burned out in the middle of the night, and it got maybe 5 degrees colder. So it heats up our home at about 1 degree per hour, but we have a pretty large home that it's heating, and it's 2 floors. So if you have a 1-story, I hear that they heat mobile home units fast and hot. So you want to make sure when you're looking for a wood burning stove, you're getting one for your square footage of residence. I'm going to talk you through all the steps that we did to finish the hearth. We started with our remnant pieces that were long and a little longer than they were wide, and we had to angle on both sides using the diamond cut saw blade. We used a table saw. Sorry. Obviously, I'm a woman talking about this. A table saw to get that right. My husband actually did the cutting. He said it was easier. We just had to keep it wet as we cut. So you can also use a tile saw. And then here's what we use to buff with. We actually use the rubber side. It has a softer side to it, but that's what stuck to this piece. And then this piece goes into your electric screwdriver. And they come in different grits. And it was quite a lot in the set. And I think it started at like 50 maybe and went all the way up to 3,000. So you start at the lowest number and work your way up to the highest number, which is the softest number. If your granite is already somewhat buffed, you can start in the middle. We had to fit in a corner piece there because one of the pieces wasn't quite long enough. When we think of it like matching tile, it was easier. So here's what it looks like for the corner angle of our hearth. We did a corner hearth, and there's what it looks like missing the one piece that we had to cut down to size, a tiny piece, and fit it in on both corners actually. Let's reverse a little bit to the beginning. Remember to draw your pattern on the floor to the exact measurements that match the book for how much space you need from the wall, and do it with a pencil and painter's tape. This will help you so much when you're positioning your granite. And you need to lay it out first before you use mortar to put it on the ground. When you're looking for mortar, be sure to get one that is granite friendly. Ours came in a powder format. We added water, used the electric drill and attachment to mix it. It was super easy to use, just as if you were laying tile, but it's more like using concrete than mortar almost. All right, our froggy blanket we used so that we didn't scratch the granite as we positioned the stove back on top. You'll also notice here that our flooring did not go all the way underneath of the granite. You can do it either way. I just was trying to save money, of course, so I was literally cutting corners, but it made it harder to cut that flooring. So next is going to be sure that you center it correctly. Please let us see your projects below and leave comments, like, and follow, and we'll see you next time. Farms, and now you know why it's called Granite Farms. Have a great day. See you next time.
Sorry. No, it's right here. Okay. Did you get that videotape? I'm so tired of laying stuff down and it's missing.
Brr. That's all I can say for life on the farm today.